Does he win? Can he beat him? Can he beat Canelo? Is his skill so much that he's able to bridge the weight classes?
He has a legitimate chance. Over 60% for as much. If you say, Bernard, give me a number.
Give me a number.
He has an 85+ chance to beat Canelo. Why? He's not going in there to prove something, which will fall into Canelo's hand. He would love for him to prove something. That means you will stay there and try to prove something. But to go in there and to let him know, establish that from the...
Are you still favoring Crawford in the fight, or has your opinion changed?
I mean, I've always favoured Canelo in the fight.
Well, I've heard that you want Canelo to win, but you feel...
Yeah, I like Terence. I've worked a lot with Canelo, and I think just because of what I saw in Riyadh and because of the threat, and he's getting on as well, Crawford, but it's just like the mindset of Crawford. Like, there's no doubt in Terence Crawford's mind that he wins this fight. And when you spend a bit of time with him, you kind of start buying into that. And I guess that's what happened in Riyadh, because I travelled with him to the fight.
Crawford is going to fight Canelo, because even if I have some doubts and misgivings about the size matchup, it is two action fighters who like to fight aggressively at times, not all the times, going against each other, and we'll see who can open the other person's tuna can, so to speak.
The verdict is in. Boxing's sharpest minds have picked a side, Canelo Alvarez or Terence Crawford. But why they chose might just shock you. Their reasons are deeper, bolder, and nothing like you'd expect.
Canelo Alvarez thinks you're not a 54-pounder. In other words, you say, nah, he's too small.
That's his take. There's a reason why Israel was so respectful in the fight. Anytime I let my hands go, he would grab me or move. For the bigger guy, you should have been walking me down. You should have been bullying me. Canelo can say, what do you say?
He just doesn't feel like you're a 54-pounder.
The odds. They're stacked high against Terence "Bud" Crawford, and he wouldn't have it any other way. Come September, when he steps into the ring to face Canelo Alvarez in a jaw-dropping super middleweight showdown, Crawford's walking straight into the lion's den. He's the smaller man, giving up natural size, power, and experience in a division he's never touched. It's the kind of mountain only the boldest dare to climb. For the first time in his 17-year pro career, Crawford isn't the favorite, he's the underdog. But when has that ever scared a future Hall of Famer? He's jumping up 2 full weight classes to challenge a 4-division champion, a living legend in Canelo. And yet, the tape tells a different tale. Crawford stands taller. His reach, 4 inches longer. He's 37, sure, but he's fresher, with 25 fewer fights and over 260 fewer rounds on his body. Is that enough? Or is he walking into something bigger than he can handle? That's the mystery waiting to unfold. I don't have to stop him. I just have to beat him. That's Terence Crawford, calm, focused, and unfazed, as he opens up in an exclusive sit-down with the ring. He's not stepping into the ring against Canelo Alvarez with dreams of a knockout. Could it happen? Sure. But for Crawford, that's not the mission. He's thinking bigger than just brute force. In his eyes, Canelo's a smaller big guy, a fighter who moved up through the divisions, carrying power but maybe leaving a little speed behind. And Crawford? He's coming up from a division where reflexes are sharper, timing is tighter, and every move has to be lightning quick. He sees a potential edge, not in strength, but in sharpness. Still, not everyone's so sure. Former champ Shawn voiced what many are thinking. Canelo's power is no joke, and taking those shots for 12 grueling rounds? That's a real concern. But Porter also sees another angle. Canelo, in recent fights, has shown signs of slowing down in the later rounds. So the question becomes, Will Crawford be able to withstand the storm early and turn the tide late? That's the drama that lies ahead.
A lot of people say, oh, well, he's money hungry, he's looking at money and he's trying to cash out and this and that. I've been getting money for years. I've been getting that for years. And I'm not stupid with my money.
Right.
As you can see, I don't buy no Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and you know what I mean, walk around with 100 people around me and got all this jewelry that I ain't bought. Like,
Shawn Porter knows firsthand what Terence Crawford brings to the ring. After all, he was stopped by him in the 10th round of their welterweight title clash. And when asked about the Canelo fight, Porter didn't hesitate. He doesn't buy the idea that Alvarez has the upper hand. Speaking to Fight Hype, he challenged the usual thinking. It's not just about strength, he said. It's about who's smarter, faster, more athletic, who has better stamina and more experience. And when you line all that up, Porter sees the edge tipping in Crawford's favor. Even now, Crawford's keeping everyone guessing. He recently posted a photo showing a scale at 186 pounds, but when asked what he actually weighs, he just laughed and said, 140. That's Bud. Mysterious, playful, deadly serious when it counts.
There's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another. You know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out.
Terence Crawford's journey began in 2008 as a scrappy 137-pounder with big dreams and sharper hands. He didn't just collect belts, he conquered divisions, becoming undisputed at both 140 and 147. Now, he holds the WBA title at 154 after dismantling Israel Madrimov. Canelo Alvarez? His story began even earlier, just 15 years old, weighing 139 pounds back in 2005. Since then, he's claimed titles across 4 divisions: 154, 160, 168, and 175. And if he beats William Skull in Saudi Arabia on May 3rd, he'll become a 2-time undisputed champ at 168. But Crawford isn't intimidated. If he gets caught with something sharp he doesn't see, Bud warns, he can absolutely get hurt.
so every time I see him, he'll come and be like, Canelo.
You're right. Yeah, you know how Billy do it too. Yeah.
I'll be like, man, come on, man.
Yeah.
So every time he say that, you know, I just be like gradually getting into like looking at it, like, okay. And he's not that big. You know, he heavy, but he not that big.
Right.
You know, and I'm just like, all right. I'm laughing, but at the same time it started hitting me like, all right, man.
Shawn Porter sees it playing out a certain way. Canelo coming out aggressive, pushing forward, trying to wear Crawford down early with sheer power and pressure. He believes Canelo might try to break Bud before the later rounds, before his own gas tank starts to empty. But even as he lays out that scenario, Porter stops short of making a bold prediction. There are just so many layers to what makes Terence Crawford a champion, he says. It's not a simple answer, it's an hour-long conversation, at least.
They talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won. He went up and lost. You know, so let's not do that, Canelo.
He's not a machine, Crawford says calmly. He's human, just like me. He bleeds, just like me. There's no fear in his voice, only clarity. Crawford isn't stepping into the ring trying to chase a knockout, but if the moment's there, he won't hesitate. He'll take it. It's about fighting his fight. Canelo, despite all the glory, has tasted defeat twice. Once against Floyd Mayweather in 2013, when he was still rising, and more recently against Dimitri Bivol. Now, some say Crawford mirrors Mayweather's style, slick, technical, and frustrating. Which raises a compelling question. If Canelo can beat a fighter like Crawford, does it prove he's evolved? That he's not the same fighter who fell short years ago?
I respect Crawford. He's a great fighter, and I always say that. No disrespect him, but sometimes it's a little crazy that people talking about a small fighter like Charlo. He's big, which he is big, and everybody's talking about if I'm gonna face Crawford.
Canelo Alvarez knows the world is watching. Everybody wants that fight, he told the Ring, referring to the looming clash with Terence Crawford. But first, I need to take care of May. I need to handle the skull fight. Then we'll see. He isn't brushing Crawford aside. He's just keeping his focus sharp. Still, he hears the chatter, especially the comparisons between Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. And to Canelo, this could be redemption. I always felt I needed more years before I fought Floyd, he admits. But I learned a lot from that loss. I don't blame myself. It made me who I am. Now, with more experience and maturity, Canelo sees Crawford as the chance to show the world he's evolved, that he's no longer the kid Floyd outclassed, but a complete, seasoned warrior at his peak.
Fighter 147, who is smaller than Charlo. So no make sense when you guys say that right now. At the end of the day, I don't want to have credit to face Crawford, but you never know. You never know in boxing. You go up and down and fight everybody out there. So it's possible.
One man who's firmly in Terence Crawford's corner? Boxing legend Barry McGuigan. And he's not just rooting, he's strategizing. In a recent interview with Betway, the former world champ didn't hold back when asked about the looming Crawford versus Canelo showdown. He believes Bud has what it takes to win, but only if he taps back into the version of himself that once stunned the boxing world. Crawford needs to get back to his old self, McGuigan said. That timing, that punching power, that's the key. If he finds that rhythm again, he can absolutely beat Canelo.